Hey, thanks for the feedback. I thought I'd just do a quick video here. I'll try not to be too long-winded with regard to what you saw yesterday. I have the satellite picture up here, and we're just going to loop this real quick. And our main deal was we had a onshore gradient flow, basically that was pretty heavily contaminated with clouds and a few showers. Now in the morning, the shower emphasis was more up here to the north. This is morning before sunrise, and as you can see by the time you got sort of racing going on, the most of the shower activity was down here to the south, but there were some cells moving through at times. Let me just kind of slow this down so we can step through it. And this is the satellite picture for 10 a.m. and you can see it's pretty clear over the northern half of the bay, basically where you all were sailing. And just coming in from the east, you can see a couple of cloud lines. They thin out and dissipate as they move further to the west. That may have given the appearance of them being pushing type clouds. Typically, when the clouds dissipate like that, they are in a downdraft mode, even if they're not raining. Um, and so we basically see that. The one I really want to point to, though, is this one here, which is coming in at 11:30. This area of cells right through here, and we'll just quickly transition over to the radar now, where you can. That was happening at that time, and we can sort of step through this in the hours coming to. Now, I apologize, the radar operator was shifting between two different modes, clear air and precipitation mode, so the image kind of changes periodically. But you can see that there are these cells moving in from the east. This is the now, unfortunately, the radar went down for about an hour and 15 minutes right through the midday period. That's Murphy's Law as it applies to radars. The But if we go here to this would be 11:15. We can see this area right through here, which is basically showing the showers and cells that I was showing to you on the satellite image. And if we go back to that satellite image and just we'll kind of step forward here a little bit in time, you can see those cells moving into the bay. This would have been um, right here. This would have been 12:15, and you can see that they're just moving in and across the bay. And that process took a little while. They finally moved through. This is 1 p.m. and then it clears out again in the northern bay with most of the cell activity moving down to the south. And this is the wind trace yesterday from Dinner Key. And on here we see right here, this is noon. And we can see that there was a drop in the wind speed at that time. And that basically was related to that a line going through. You can also see that it got quite unstable in terms of pressure and speed for a little while afterwards, right in through this period here. And again, that was as the clouds basically were trying to dissipate and were breaking up. And then so we stayed at a kind of an average lower wind speed after that cloud line went through. Very difficult thing to forecast. It really is a nowcast type of thing. I would say that, an hour or two prior, if we had the satellite image, we would have been able to be monitoring that particular cloud line and know that that was the one that was going to bring that change in the wind at midday. But until we see it actually develop and move to the toward the bay, we don't really know much about it. One other thing I want to point out is sort of the character of the day changing after that went through. If you'll notice, it's the up to the north here we have sort of these just the kind of incomplete cloud streets, and as we get past that point where that line moved through the bay, we see the streets extending down into the bay, and in particular you can see this street here, and then there's another one a little bit further north up toward Virginia Key, so sort of across the middle and southern end of Key Biscayne and then up toward Virginia Key. And cloud streets are very different from these embedded cloud masses, and how you handle the winds around those. That's a time for a whole different lesson. So anyway, just kind of wanted to point out the types of things that were at play yesterday, and we look forward to giving you some forecasts here at the end of the month. Take care.